The hospital loomed like a dark specter at the edge of town. Its once white walls, now a sickly shade of gray. The abandoned building stood there for years, a decaying monument to a forgotten past. Locals whispered tales of tragedy and horror that had befallen the hospital, warning others to stay away. However, curiosity and desperation often prevailed, drawing brave souls to explore its eerie corridors and uncover its secrets. One such soul was Emily, a young and ambitious journalist who had recently moved to the small town. She had heard the chilling stories about the abandoned hospital, but saw it as an opportunity to prove herself. Emily was determined to write a gripping article that would revive her career and put her name on the map of journalistic excellence. On a moonless night, Emily sneaked into the hospital through a broken window, her heart pounding in her chest. Armed with a flashlight and a notepad, she began her descent into the depths of the derelict building. The air was heavy with an ominous stillness, and each creak and groan of the decaying structure seemed to whisper warnings of the darkness within. As Emily wandered through the labyrinthine hallways, she encountered graffiti-covered walls, remnants of broken medical equipment, and forgotten patient records scattered on the floor. The smell of decay and old age permeated the air, making her stomach churn. Every shadow seemed to hide lurking horrors, and the distant echoes of unidentifiable noises added to her mounting fear. In one of the rooms, Emily stumbled upon a rusty gurney, and her flashlight flickered ominously. When she looked up, she saw a fleeting glimpse of a pale figure disappearing around the corner. Her breath caught in her throat as she followed, her curiosity overtaking her rationality. The corridor led her deeper into the heart of darkness, and with every step, the atmosphere grew more oppressive. Emily's heart raced as she encountered locked rooms with barred windows, as if they had once contained something too dangerous to set free. She hesitated, but pressed on, driven by an unquenchable desire for the truth. Soon, she discovered a hidden staircase leading to a sub-basement. As she descended into the depths, the temperature plummeted and the distant echoes grew louder. The hallway before her seemed to stretch indefinitely, and the walls appeared to writhe with shadows. It was in this forsaken realm that Emily's rationality began to unravel. Whispers echoed in her ears, haunting her with chilling words that seemed to be from another time. She saw fleeting glimpses of ghastly faces peering from behind corners, and distant sobs echoed through the air. Every fiber of her being screamed at her to escape, but the journalist within her fought against fear, determined to uncover the truth. She ventured deeper into the abyss, where the darkness was all encompassing. In one particularly gruesome room, Emily found a dusty journal, its pages filled with cryptic entries detailing disturbing experiments and unspeakable acts committed in the name of science. The hospital had once housed a deranged doctor who conducted twisted experiments on patients, pushing the boundaries of medical ethics to horrifying extremes. As Emily continued to read, she heard footsteps approaching from behind. Panic set in as she turned around, only to find herself alone. The hospital seemed to be playing cruel tricks on her mind, twisting reality into a tapestry of terror. Time lost its meaning in the abyss, and Emily's sanity teetered on the edge. She could no longer discern if the ghastly figures she saw were figments of her imagination or malevolent spirits haunting the hospital's forgotten halls. Just as she was about to give in to despair and flee, Emily stumbled upon a hidden chamber. The room was devoid of light, except for an eerie glow emanating from a sinister looking altar at the center. The air was thick with an otherworldly presence, and Emily's heart pounded in her chest like a war drum. Drawn toward the altar against her will, Emily saw a collection of old medical tools arranged in a ghastly display. As she reached out to touch them, she felt a cold hand gripping her wrist, and an icy voice whispered in her ear, "You should not have come here, mortal." Terrified, she tried to break free, but the spectral grip tightened around her, draining her strength. The room filled with malevolent laughter, and the walls seemed to pulse with dark energy. In a desperate act of willpower, Emily pulled out a small silver cross she always carried for protection. As she held it aloft, the room erupted in a blinding flash of light, and the spectral presence vanished. Fueled by adrenaline and newfound resolve, Emily raced back through the maze of the hospital, not looking back until she was safely outside. The cold night air filled her lungs, and she collapsed to her knees, gasping for breath. As the sun began to rise, Emily walked away from the abandoned hospital, her heart heavy with the knowledge of the horror she had witnessed. She knew she would never be the same again, haunted by the shadows of the forgotten. Years passed, and Emily's article about the abandoned hospital became a sensation, gaining her the recognition she sought. But success could not erase the nightmares that plagued her every night, nor the chilling memories etched into her soul. The hospital remained abandoned, its malevolence undiminished. The townsfolk avoided it, leaving it to be consumed by the passage of time, forever a testament to the darkness that lay hidden within its walls. And there it stood, a silent sentinel, waiting for another curious soul to step into its grasp and plunge them into the depths of its eternal horror.